Ellipse, written by John Van Geem, narrated by Dennis Kleinman. The clouds. The sky transformed as light pierced the horizon, each tree cast in gold from the angle of the sun. Aaron had an affinity for the lesser-known paths and waded through the trees of the forest. As a teenage boy with a lean build, he would venture out for days without getting tired. Aaron's eyes were a frightening shade of blue, as if haunted by the ocean. His skin a result of midsummer heat, when there was often no reprieve from the sun. This year's harvest was particularly grueling, requiring him to take extra duties. The farmers relied on Aaron to take the crops to the port where they were sold to the ship merchants of Eros. If he was lucky, extra profits would ensure him a day off, and yesterday Aaron had come back with coins spare. The timelessness of the woods healed all of Aaron's burdens. Small droplets of water gathered on the trees, while a noticeable gossamer caught the light. Wildlife could be heard in every direction, causing Aaron to look up and see gray-bellied bluebird resting on a branch. More than any other creature, Aaron was envious of the birds, their ability to fly for miles, leaving it all behind. What it would be to see the world from that height, to see the sun breaking over the clouds. Warm rays broke through the canopy, laying a gentle hand on Aaron's back. With an easy sigh, he paused for a moment and refocused directions. A renewed energy led him north, and he embarked towards the rivers that descended from the mountains. Almost half a day's travel brought him to the sound of the water. Aaron excitedly added energy to his pace when the tree line opened around him, revealing an immaculate view of the mountains. Edging all the way up towards the river, he stopped to take in the view. Aaron breathed in deeply and watched the river pass before him. The water was a conjunction of streams that carried a significant momentum. Unwise to cross at this point, Aaron knew a safer place a little way up the mountains. Walking alongside the water, Aaron noticed an unusual gold leaf floating toward him. It swept quickly around rocks, riding the waves of the river. Aaron imagined he was the leaf, swirling left and right, splashing over rapids and picking up speed. Small obstacles became intrepid tribulations as the water pulled him into adventure. The gold leaf drifted further and further away, eventually rounding out of Aaron's sight. Aaron stood in silence for a moment, thinking about where the leaf came from and where it might be going. Some birds chattered across the water, probably wondering why he was standing there. Aaron regrouped and focused on the crossing a little further upstream. One of his favorite things to do was track smaller streams upriver. He thought finding the water's origin was like walking back through time. With a little effort, Aaron found what he was looking for and was ready to test his skills. He stuck his hand in the water to feel the temperature, and his eyes lit up when it pricked back with an icy jest. Aaron took a moment to plan his route and moved towards the water's edge. On his very first step, a gentle breeze seemed to steal all the warmth from his body. Suppressing a shiver, he continued forward across the shallow rocks. There was a hidden smile on his face and determination in his eyes. Halfway along the crossing, however, Aaron stopped abruptly. A strange feeling came over him. Here. Aaron planted his feet against the current and looked up at the clouds. A delicate balance sang through his body, the weight at his, the flowing of the river, and the movement of the clouds. The tranquility rang in the wind, one he had never heard before. The experience came to an abrupt halt when an icy chill bolted up his back. Snapping back to the reality, Aaron refocused on the dry land and continued tracking forward. Avoiding unnecessary falls into the deep water, the ground gradually arose under his feet, and he reached the other side. Aaron looked up again to see the sun had skipped to an entirely new position. If he headed back now, he would arrive before dusk, but then his grand adventure would be over. Prolonging the inevitable, he decided to go southeast, choosing a circular path over back the way he came. The trail was one he had taken before, and although it wasn't as fun, it was full of interesting flora. His thought wandered in and out, and different animals would hear him coming and scurry away. After a while, Aaron recognized a familiar lining of trees that were a defining feature between the borders of the mountain and the farms of Tara. The end of the day seemed to harmonize with their glow as he padded his mentality to return to responsibilities at the farm. Aaron arrived at the farmer's reason for settlement, Lake Tara. The lake was a water basin from the ice which melted from the mountains. Aaron took the time to enjoy what would surely be his last peace moment to watch the sunset over the water. Finding a clearing amongst the trees, he relaxed and took a seat in the grass. As the sun began to dip, an orange and crimson glow filled out over the horizon. Aaron laid back in the grass. He took a deep breath. He wished for something else to happen, anything other than his approaching responsibilities at the farm. Closing his eyes, Aaron outstretched his legs and faded into the grass. He could see the path unfolding in his mind, slowly taking him back upstream to the center of the river.